Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video on WWE 2K25. We have some additions, some news that I want to go on ahead and get into, man, because this was a surprise patch, as we like to call it. But before we get into that, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe if you guys have been enjoying the content. I was not home recently, so I had to go on ahead and do a couple things here on my end, but we are back. So let's go on ahead and get into it. Let's go on ahead and start with the first couple changes, man. We have some renders for Brock Lesnar, for John Cena 2025. It is cool that we have these renders because I was tired of the whole video game renders. I feel like eventually they are just gonna go the video game render side, but for right now, if we have real life renders for most of the wrestlers on this roster, I do prefer it to be all renders and not just half real life renders and half video game renders. I'm just not with that, if you feel what I'm saying. So just my 2 cents with that. It is something small, it is a small detail, but I am happy to see that those were added to the game just to kind of make it mesh in with everything else, and hopefully everything else gets a render in the future, even though I know that won't be the case. Now, with all of that being said, we did get a new Nikki Bella update here today. She got her inches, as everyone would say, and the hairstyle is gone. At first, I will be the first one to tell you, I thought that there was some sort of new scan because it was reported earlier last week that there was a new Nikki Bella scan confirmed by Nikki Bella herself on the Bria and Nikki show. So I definitely wanted to go on ahead and point that out. We are getting some sort of new Nikki Bella update for 2K26, but it was quickly pointed out to me that this wasn't a face scan. It did look kind of okay. It wasn't the best face scan by any means. It wasn't that great, but it was one of those face scans where I'm like, okay, maybe, you know, they just did a couple updates, made it look better. I guess just the hairstyle made it look better, honestly. Aside from that, though, it wasn't really a good face scan. It still needs work. It looks like it's still the same face scan as before. I just wasn't aware. I've been kind of out the loop when it comes to actually playing this game. I haven't been playing as much as I probably should, but I do keep up with it, with the changes and everything like that. And obviously, I got to keep up with it. I got to come here, sit down, and tell you guys the news. So it's one of those things, man, where Nikki, she got her inches. She got an update. It's not the greatest update in the world, but the hairstyle update does work for something like this when there was so many complaints about Nikki Bella. So I am excited to see the face scan next year in 2K26, as I think that this will be the only update that we will get pertaining to Nikki. I don't think that they will update her multiple times at this point, but again, this is a welcomed update, especially for Nikki Bella fans, and let's just try and get rid of that model, right? Because that model wasn't 2K's greatest work, that's for sure. Now, let's go on ahead and get into Drew McIntyre. Now, this is huge, right? Because we have been waiting for Drew McIntyre. We got his entrance theme. We got his music. I mean, man, it doesn't get any better than that. And I'll be honest, his model is very, very, very good. Shout out to What's the Status for showing us Drew McIntyre's model. Shout out to the WWE Games page putting out his entrance a couple days ago. It is cool, man. And honestly, I'm just excited to get this, if I can get this, because everything has just been very out of just range for people, right? I mean, maybe I'm the only one, but I feel that it's one of those things where, you know, I am excited to get the theme song and put it on Drew McIntyre's current model, because I think that that suits him much better nowadays. Hopefully we're just waiting until Drew gets the championship and then they want to throw this theme song on him. I would personally really like that instead, but for right now, I think that this is really, really cool. It goes back to the possibilities and what this can mean for the future of the game, and I think that a lot of these are still crazily priced. We just got Kane that just came out last Friday. You got to go through the collection and all that good stuff. He does have slow chemicals, so there are, you know, just a couple things here and there, but I do really, really hope that at some point we do reach that balance, you know, between consumers and, you know, people that, you know, like to spend money. I feel like a balance in the middle would probably be best, but I'm not going to keep complaining over something that people seem to keep spending money on. I really feel that 2K wouldn't price this the way they are if they felt that there wasn't enough people spending money. So that's just my 2 cents with that. I just don't think that many changes will come in terms of pricing and collections, things like that, because people are still spending the money, and that's just what it is. And I just don't think that many meaningful changes will come out of it. We've already seen what has happened thus far this year with pack prices going up and things like that. MyFaction, man, the future was bright. At least to me. Maybe to others it still is, but it was bright to me, man. And unfortunately, it looks like it has fallen off. That light has dimmed for me in terms of that mode. I prefer to spend my time on universe mode and other modes like that before I go into MyFaction and continue playing as much. And honestly, I probably should go in there. They've been giving away a lot of free cards. They just gave away Galaxy Opal Brock Lesnar in a live event. So there are some cool things in there. I'm not going to say that it's just all bad all around. I don't think that's the case. But when it comes down to pricing and the way that they're pricing these fan favorite Persona cards, I think that's where the problem mostly comes in at. Now, before we go ahead and wrap it up, man, let's talk about World Tour. World Tour was a mode that we saw just get lots and lots of hype at the beginning of the year. It has been 6 months since it was last updated, and this is not World Tour, man. This is the USA Tour. This is nothing more than the USA Tour. People thought that maybe with the Japan Tour, we may see the Japan World Tour come in, and maybe, listen, man, I just don't get the whole thing behind a mode that was bringing in so many people. Just shut it out the way that 2K has. I just can't seem to get behind that personally, because it just doesn't really make sense to me as a consumer. As someone who likes to content create and all that good stuff, I just don't understand how they thought that it was a good idea to just give up on this mode. It's been half the year, and even if they do come back at some point, right, it doesn't take the fact away that we saw this mode go away for 6 months and they just acted like it didn't exist. I think that's the most disappointing part to me about it, because any communication, anything like that, it would have gone a long way, especially with this mode. There are so many people waiting on this mode to be updated. It's not just me, and some people have felt that maybe because MyFaction has been the way it is, they feel the need to not give away any more Persona cards or cards. But bro, aside from Persona cards, World Tour doesn't need to give away only Persona cards, and you've seen that. They gave away Suit Cody Rhodes, which wasn't a Persona card. They can do things like that in MyFaction and make it an exclusive, you know, only model where it has a high overall. It's a card that you can go online and play with. There's so many things that they can do with this mode. That's why it's super frustrating at the way that it has been handled throughout this whole year, because this has been probably their best addition since the MyFaction debut back in 2022. It just doesn't make sense as to how this continues to happen. I just feel that there is some sort of lack of attention when it comes to this mode. Now, that's just my 2 cents. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'm going to keep complaining about it till we get changes in World Tour. But again, it is disappointing at how this mode has been left to dry over the last couple months. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to stay tuned for the next one, man. I'm gonna try and give y'all a little more content. I've been busy, but I do want to go on ahead and try and get back consistent, get on the train before 2K26 arrives. We do got that DLC pack coming soon, so make sure you guys stay tuned for all that, man. I'm gonna catch y'all. Peace.